Hello, this is Eric from Center for Advanced Legal Studies, and this is a quick video on how to access Canvas, our learning management system, perhaps for the first time or as a refresher. If you need a refresher, maybe you're a returning student. So how to access Canvas, and then also how to access Class for Teams, our new synchronous classroom platform. So before we begin, I'm here at paralegal.edu, that's the school's website. But before we actually get into Canvas or Class for Teams, I want to go over a few requirements. So first, let's look at the browser support. This is an updated article from Class indicating which browsers should be used when accessing Class for Teams. And essentially, since Class for Teams is built on Microsoft Teams, it's a Microsoft product, the recommended supported browsers are Google Chrome, Microsoft Edge, and Safari on mobile devices. If you have a Mac, a MacBook or any Mac computer, not a phone, but an actual computer, you can install Google Chrome or Microsoft Edge for Mac, which is probably recommended. The supported operating systems would be Windows, Mac OS, an Android tablet, or a Chromebook. Notice they don't really have iPad listed, but I do think it is supported. We just haven't tested that thoroughly. It also goes into some information about bandwidth requirements, but if you have a modern internet connection, you should be fine. Some other things to consider are just session best practices. So always we recommend a hardwired Ethernet connection. We also understand that most people don't have those and will be using wireless connections. If you're using a wireless connection, please ensure that you're close to your wireless router. And also be aware that if other people are using your internet, streaming movies, playing games, it can impact your internet connectivity. It's always good to close all running applications. Better yet, to restart your computer before you join class. Just simply restart it and then open your browser, and don't open a lot of other programs that could be running. That also kind of refreshes your memory, resets a lot of things in your computer, so that's just a good best practice. It says there, keep your browser current. Make sure you have the latest version of the supported internet browsers. And then it has some recommendations about how to make a strong impression in class. So as far as participation basics for Class for Teams, this has been posted in a lot of classes. It's been posted in announcements. You should see this, but it gives a very good overview of the platform itself, from the podium where the instructor usually resides, the front of the room, which is the top area, seating chart, how you or your instructor can rearrange where people are being displayed. There's a lot of features in Class for Teams, and that's why we're excited to adopt it. We do understand that there could be some growing pains, and we're going to get through those here shortly. So to join Class for Teams, first we need to go to Canvas. So I'm at the school's website, paralegal.edu. Simply go over to Students and Canvas Login. It's going to ask you to enter your username or email. It will be your paralegal.edu email along with the password. You've likely changed that since you first were issued your account, but otherwise you may have a default password that you can use. So I'm going to hit login, and it's going to take me to Canvas. This is the asynchronous portion of your online experience. That's where you'll access your courses, submit your assignments, take quizzes, and it's also where you'll join live classes through your course in Canvas. Any announcements that are still active will be at the top. You can close those out with this little X. There's also your account over here where you can go in and add a lot of settings, change your password, etc. We'll go back to the dashboard. One thing you may want to do is, you'll see that I have a lot of classes here because I'm enrolled in all of these, not as a student, thankfully, because that's a lot of work. But you'll see they have like a colored overlay. If you prefer to turn that off, you can go to these three dots, click it, and uncheck color overlay. I just think it looks better that way. Also, if you hit these three dots, I prefer card view. If you go to list view, sometimes you don't really see your classes. It's kind of difficult to know what's going on. So I always prefer card view. That way you can see all of your courses. So to access your live class, I'm going to just go to one of these, say for Introduction to Law and Ethics, because that's where a lot of folks start. We just enter the class in Canvas by clicking it. And it's going to take you to your class. And we're not going to cover everything in Canvas. We primarily want to see how do we get into our live classes with Class for Teams. This should be a very simple process. If you're using a supported internet browser that's up to date, if you have a good, healthy internet connection, if you're on a computer and not a phone, you really shouldn't have any trouble accessing your live classes. Simply go to Class for Teams. And you'll see the list of scheduled sessions. These are provided really so that students know when they're expected to be in class, and this also triggers the attendance recording that's in Class for Teams. So between these hours, 7 to 9, that's when you're expected to be in class. That's when attendance will be captured. And so right now this class isn't going to meet until Thursday at 7. But to join class, typically you'll see over here it'll say launch under actions. But regardless, you can always just click join classroom. And when you click that, it's going to launch class. It's going to show Randy here because she's the one who built all of these classes, but don't worry, Randy's not teaching your class. She wouldn't want to do that. She is very happy just designing courses. But then you just click join on the web. Your computer, if you have security software, sometimes it may, when you click this, you may have pop-up blockers, something that keeps a new window from popping up. And so you have to be careful of what your security settings are, because that can keep you from launching Class for Teams. So once you're here, you just click join on the web. And that's really all you should have to do. There's really nothing more to it. I'm enrolled in this class as an admin or an instructor, so it automatically put me over on the podium. You would be just down here where the students or the participants would be. This is where you can turn on your camera and your mic. Again, we recommend keeping those off until you are engaged in a conversation. If you want to turn on your camera, you certainly can. That's your preference. I would leave the mic off until you're actually engaged in a conversation. There's another video that goes over all the features of Class for Teams. Generally, that's included as well. That was the announcement you actually saw on the dashboard a minute ago. So that's pretty much it. If you're having more difficulty than that, then there's probably some settings or some configuration that needs to happen on your computer or your device. But accessing live classes in Class for Teams should be incredibly easy. It's really just a matter of going into your class in Canvas, clicking the Class for Teams link in the course menu, and then clicking join classroom when it's time for class. And you should just be right in there and hopefully have a great experience. So that's all I have for right now. Hopefully this helps you get into your live classes. If you have any other difficulties, please open a trouble ticket and we will be happy to help. So until next time, this is Eric, and have a great day.